there's apps for everything these days. You can, you put an app on the phone, you can track down just about anything. But this is one that's come in for people who want to have children, but they may not have a partner. It may be that you're talking about you make same-sex couples, but people who want to have children and they need some outside help broadly. And it's an area which obviously crosses a whole lot of boundaries and legal issues as well. Paul Ryan is the co-founder of it. Let's find out what this one's involved. JustABaby app is what it is. He's on the line with us now. Hello, Paul.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, Paul. Thanks for joining us. Now, if I'm looking for someone with to donate sperm or eggs, can I go on this app and find and track them down?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
just tell us how it works.
Okay. Well, basically, I was in my 30s and I was looking around, and a whole bunch of my friends went off and got married. And then the rest of us are all sort of sitting around scratching our heads and like, well, we haven't quite gotten married. And we do want to have kids. I was looking around, and my friends are, these are educated, healthy, career-driven, stable people coming from really beautiful families. And I was like, these people are going to make great parents. This isn't a scrap heap. That was the thing. I was looking around, I was like, this bunch of people who aren't married, it's not a scrap heap. And the plan B for surrogacy and sperm banks and all that kind of stuff seems so clinical and just generally overwhelming. So we're like, why is this so hard? So that's why we made JustABaby. So yeah, you can jump on the app, and it's basically a place where you can go to start a conversation with people who want to have a baby.
No, it's potentially a big legal minefield, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, look, the laws in this area are a total mess, and it can be very tricky. For example, you've got 9 different systems of law across every different state, and the federal law which govern this type of stuff. So it's very, very important that you can't just go and start having babies with 1,000 people without looking at your legal avenues. So every single person, once you've met somebody and you want to proceed with that person, then we strongly recommend everybody gets family counselling and certainly a whole lot of legal work done. And each individual should get independent legal advice before they proceed with any type of...
What about confidentiality, though?
Well, again, that can be handled through your lawyer to a degree. I mean, in Australia, there's laws governing anonymity and stuff like that around sperm donors. So, for example...
A lot of those are being repealed, though. I mean, particularly in, say, Victoria, where there was that recent decision, I think, last week, which has basically rendered obsolete donors' wishes to remain anonymous. So you might even get the knock on the door in 15, 20 years' time.
Well, look, and this is why it's so very important that before you do anything, and this goes with going to a clinic or anything, like it doesn't really change anything. You need to go and get your legal advice before you start any of this stuff.
I mean, when people, what do they register with your app and say they're willing to be a donor, either, it could be eggs, it could be sperm, how much information do they have to provide?
Look,
because how do you know this might turn into a baby shopping exercise?
Well, that's right. I mean, this is a meeting place, so you don't necessarily get on there and say, look, I'm giving away my sperm to the highest bidder. That's not what it's about. In fact, we don't take note of who's, interested in what. People get on there and they say, this is me, this is my story, this is my background, this is what I'm interested in. And then you meet with people and then you start a conversation with that person. So it's similar to going, to a meeting place and meeting people who are interested in having a baby. And then you have a conversation with that person and together you work out if there's a future between you two.
Now, you've developed it here, but it's now got people signing up in Europe and the US.
Yeah, that's right. We're releasing it in Sydney and Australia, but we've made it available to areas of the US and Europe and UK. And yeah, we're getting sign-ups over there, but certainly it's been overwhelming response in Australia so far.
We're only 60 seconds left. So in theory, say with you, it may be that there may be a woman contacts you who says, well, I'm single and I want to have a baby, and you might want to have a baby, and you have an arrangement where the two of you would then raise that child. Is that what you're talking about? That kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, from there, if that was the case, and I wanted to, if I liked the sound of this person,
yep,
and I wanted to move forward,
yep,
then the next step I'd go and get counselling,
yep,
and we'd go get counselling with that person. Then we'd go to a lawyer,
yep,
and we'd go to independent lawyers,
yep,
get something put in place. Then we'd go get fertility advice about how we're going to do it.
Yep.
And then from that point on, then you make a decision on whether you're going to proceed. and then you move forward.
Well, it's called JustABaby app. People can have a look at that. Paul, thank you very much for that.
No worries. Thanks very
Paul
much.
Ryan there. I think Todd McKinney did that. He co-parents a child, and the,
Very, very different way
it is difficult
coming up with a baby, isn't it?
yeah.